All right, this question is a good question. We actually came up with it. Gambo came up with it yesterday at the end of the show.
That can't be that good then.
Talking about it's a great question.
All right.
Pat yourself on the back here, Gambo.
You always pat yourself on the back. What is this sudden fake humility? I swear to God. Oh, it wasn't that great of a question. I mean, when have you ever not patted yourself on the back?
I'm humble.
Okay. Take a victory lap on this one.
Google what humble means and then get back to us?
Know what humble means?
It's a good poll question.
It's a good poll question.
If it was a time to pat yourself on the back,
it'd be over this.
Not arrogant or assertive, reflecting, expressing, or offered in the spirits of deference or submission, a humble apology.
Yeah, no.
You're smiling while reading it because you know it doesn't work for you.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, not really humble.
Right.
That was a good poll question. What is this? Now that we've put it on this pedestal, damn, it better be good. What is it?
The best poll question we've ever had in the history of the Burns and Gambo show.
It probably is.
Crafted by Gambo.
Somebody's kissing somebody's patootie right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. But the poll question is, whose return to Arizona are you more intrigued by? Jaden Daniels or Cliff Kingsbury?
Oh,
Zach
that's
Ertz.
a good question. Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz is the answer.
That is the #1 comment under the poll question.
Zach Ertz.
Zach
Really?
He's coming back, too.
Yeah, he is. Before last night, I would have voted for Cliff Kingsbury. After last night, I did vote for Jaden Daniels.
Best Cardinal player to ever play for Washington.
Larry Centers.
Larry Centers. Exactly right. Larry. I'm going Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
This has gotten closer.
This is awesome.
Oh, my goodness.
That's why it's a,
to 49%.
That's why it's a good poll question.
This is like a swing state right now, the voting.
We do live in a swing state.
Well, we are a swing state, so
Like
there is that. I mean, yes. What is it, 51 to 49 for who?
Jaden Daniels.
Okay. Now that's a poll question. That's a good one. I love those 50-50 splits like that. It means we touched a nerve. We found
touched it,
kind of it's like when you're setting a betting line in Vegas. All you're trying to do is get actions on both sides, right? So all you're trying. It's a good poll question.
All right, there we go.
That's a good poll
I see this as an absolute win.
Thank you, Lauren.
We might have to come back to this one tomorrow just to see what the final results were.
Yeah, maybe.
Since it's so close.
Okay, we've deliberately avoided the NFC West. We've taken a couple looks at the NFL Week 3. We don't get a chance much to do it on a Monday because we're so busy with the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks and everything that happened. So we do a lot of looking back at the NFL on a Tuesday. And what a weekend it was in the NFC West. Seattle is 3-0. The Rams came back from the dead with nobody available on their roster, seemingly, to beat San Francisco.
And they saved their season with that win.
San Francisco, with Christian McCaffrey going to Germany to get God only knows what done to his Achilles, with
Hargrave.
Javon Hargrave now
Torn
injured,
tricep.
out for the season. Debo's hurt. Purdy hurt his back. Who knows what his availability is. Suddenly, there's like this 49er vulnerability. There's this Rams saving their season. There's the Seattle Seahawks that are 3-0. The division's all kinds of upside down right now.
This blew me away. Kyle Shanahan had never blown a second-half lead of 14 points before Sunday. He was 50-0 in those situations. 50-0. When you got a 14-point lead in the second half, and the Rams came back and won that freaking football game. It was 21-7. It also ended a streak of 101 straight losses by the Rams in that same situation. When they were down by 14 or more in the fourth quarter, they had lost 101 straight. You got a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. You've got to win that football game. The 49ers didn't do it. The Rams made these incredible plays to come back and win and set up the field goal, and the kid knocked it in, and the Rams end up taking down the 49ers. A week after the Cardinals beat him, and you're like, man, this Rams team looks like they are toast.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan after the game, very happy about Brock Purdy and how he played.
It seemed like Brock played his ass off from what I saw. He made a bunch of big plays. He took some good shots down the field. It was tough to not come up with that one on that last drive, especially after missing that field goal. when Steph wasn't there, he did a hell of a job scrambling, making some off-schedule plays, and from what I saw, I thought he played his ass off.
Sean McVay on his young defense in that game.
They're just taking steps. I thought, Purdy, oh my gosh, I mean, he's running around forever on a couple of those plays, but yeah, you guys are laughing with me. It's not funny, is it? Jeez. But you know what? He's a competitor. I got a ton of respect for him and what they've done since he stepped in there. But our guys just kept competing. They kept fighting. Like I said, I think, I'm more interested in, I see better than I hear. I saw a team respond after a really humbling week last week. And 3 hours will never define you, good or bad, unless you allow it to. And, we've got to do a good job of being able to build on this. This game's going to be over. It's great to be able to get our first win in the fashion that we were able to get it.
That's, again, the thing about the NFL. It's such a week-to-week proposition, right? Because a week ago, the Rams, they looked like they were toast. A week ago, the Rams were winless, and they just got humiliated by the Arizona Cardinals. They were down a touchdown with, 4 minutes to go in this game and still rallied to win. The NFL, every week, the narrative always changes in this league.
Now,
always
Seattle
does.
caught a break because Tua is out, and they got to play against this Skylar Thompson, who's not very good. So at home, they beat up on Miami 24-3. Good game from Geno Smith. Zach Charbonnet had a pretty good game. Are you buying Seattle? I asked you before. Steelers are 3-0. Do they make the playoffs? You said yes. Their defense is outstanding. The Steelers' defense has been great. Seattle's 3-0. Do they make the playoffs?
They make the playoffs, but I don't think they win the division.
Okay.
I think they make the playoffs.
You still think San Francisco wins the division?
You know what? And it's crazy. Mitch sent me this story today about the numbers on when a team has a 2-game lead in the division the way Seattle does after 3 weeks. They win the division 67% of the time. So why is nobody believing Seattle? The numbers say we should believe in Seattle. Here's the number. The Seahawks have a 2-game lead on the Niners, Rams, and Cardinals. According to ESPN research, 12 of the 18 teams that have led their division by 2 games just 3 weeks in have gone on to win the division. 67% of the time. We should believe in
Their
Seattle.
schedule.
I don't.
Their schedule. You ready?
Yeah.
They got to play at Detroit. These are games that I think that they got to play at Detroit. They got San Francisco. They got to play at Atlanta. They got to play Buffalo. They got to play at San Francisco. They got to play the Jets. They got to play the Packers. They got to play the Vikings. So I just think that their schedule, what's the gimme game? There's not a lot of gimme games in there for them.
Plus,
the Bears, and maybe the Giants.
Look at the quarterbacks.
Well, I mentioned my team too, Lauren. I mentioned my team, okay? I didn't just throw your team under the bus. I threw my team under the bus too.
Look at the quarterbacks they've played so far. They played Bo Nix in his NFL debut. They played Jacoby Brissett, the New England Patriots. They played
And then they win that game in overtime?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they won that game in overtime.
Overtime.
And they played Skylar Thompson in the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fake. Trust me. I'd love it if the Cardinals were 3-0, and I wouldn't care how they got there. It's not fake. But to your point about the schedule and where it's going to head, it's going to get them.
Schedule's brutal for them.
I'll say make the playoffs. I won't say win the division. I just don't think they've got that much. I don't think they're that good. I don't think the roster is that good.
I don't think they make the playoffs.
At all? 3-0 team that fails to get there?
I think they'll be a 3-0 team that fails to make the playoffs.
Okay.
I just think
you might be right. You might be right.
Schedule's hard. But, this Mike McDonald's a hell of a coach.
He is.
He's a hell of a coach, so maybe he gets more out of them than I'm giving them credit for.
Yeah, it does make me wonder how available the division is for the Cardinals to win it. I really do, because San Francisco. To me, the biggest takeaway of the weekend isn't that Seattle's 3-0. It's that San Francisco's 1-2, and they are beat to hell. That is the story of the NFC West after 3 weeks. Is that San Francisco looks vulnerable. Absolutely vulnerable.
Yeah, torn right tricep for Hargrave. You mentioned the McCaffrey going to Germany. Like a bunch of other guys, they're dealing with their injuries too. Yeah, they're a mess right now.
Debo's hurt.
Kittle's hamstring
hurt.
injury.
Brock Purdy's dealing with a back that's going to leave him questionable.
Shavarius
for most of the
Ward
week.
hamstring.
Yep.
Yeah, they're a mess.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.